All right, here for the daily, and we're going to talk about the Kopa Trophy and Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo being nominated for that. That's the effectively the Ballon D'Or for children, something like that. And then we'll have a little chat about the Ballon D'Or generally. First, Daniel, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Doing all right, surviving. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That's a good
yeah. I mean, it's better than not, isn't it? I think. All right, so the Kopa Trophy, which is a very long list. Well, it's not like this is the top 10 or anything. There's like 30 people nominated for this, but Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho are nominated. So this is the trophy that is given out alongside the Ballon d'Or for the best under 21s in the world. And I guess this is reward for their good progress over the last year or so.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the list now, I mean, I'm sure that Yamal will win.
He will win, yes. And probably deserved. I mean, excellent Euros and a very good season with Barcelona, and he's 12 years old, so there's some novelty factor in that as well. But yeah.
Look, it's not goalkeepers on this list.
Who are the goalkeepers on the list?
I'm sorry, no. Where I'm looking, the left column is the Kopa Trophy, and the right column is the Yashin.
Best goalkeepers. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like, wow. It's not a list of forwards. But
do you know who's not in it?
Which one?
The best goalie one.
I don't know. Andre Onana, he's not in it. I did see this. Yeah,
that is correct. Andre Onana is not in it.
That would be because he chucked a whole bunch into his own net last season.
I think so.
And continued in he doesn't even chuck him into his net. He stands so far out of the way that he can't get anywhere near the ball. That's not the top of the conversation, but that'd be why.
I'll tell you who I hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
Ronwen Williams.
No, neither have I.
South African goalkeeper. He plays for Mamelodi Sundowns FC.
Okay.
Ronwen Williams feels like his name's really Bronwyn Williams and he's Welsh. And it's just the time thing. That was my first thought. Is Ronwen Williams? Yeah. Is very that good. Some kind of Welsh rugby player? I mean, I haven't. Matthijs Tel. I mean, did he score against us in
for
Bayern Munich?
For Bayern, he might have done. Was it a deflected goal or something? I can't remember now.
I don't know. He's one of those players who I've heard is good, but every time I watch him, he isn't.
Yeah.
I've not seen João Neves play well that often either, but he looks awesome on a YouTube compilation, which of course I haven't watched because I'm 45 years old and I don't watch YouTube compilations of every player. I think by sight or some.
Well, there's only so much. The compilations are fine. There's only so much like Euro techno that you can take because they all have a Euro.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Euro techno like as it goes. I prefer it to bad R&B for sure.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, who else is on this list? Arda Güler. I mean, he scored an amazing goal in the Euros, but he barely played last season.
Spent the entire season injured. Yeah. So probably not based on form, more on reputation. That one and a banger in the
banger in the Euros. Yeah. Warren Zaire-Emery is
a nice player. Yeah.
Is a nice player. I don't think I haven't seen him play as well as I've seen Mainoo play.
Yeah,
and I don't. I mean, I have seen him. I've seen him in some big games. I haven't seen him week to week, and I've seen Kobbie play well in big games. I haven't seen Zaire-Emery do that yet. Someone will probably say, well, this one, because I watch every Paris game, but I've seen quite a lot of their Champions League games and some of their big league games for work. And he's someone, like someone I always want to play well. Like when there's someone who's 16 years old and you're like, right, come on, like show me. I've never quite seen it from him yet. But the fact that he's playing this level at that age, I mean, he must have it. But it's not like Rooney or Fabregas, players who start also at a ridiculously young age. And you watch Fabregas was in Charity Shield in 2004 Charity Shield. It's like, and I'd seen him before that, I think in something when he was 15. I think I might have seen him in the League Cup, but I saw in that Charity Shield. Okay, it's so, because usually for someone to do it at that age, it's just so obvious that you have to pick them. It's so obvious to see it with Yamal, but actually, I don't think you're meant to call him Yamal. It's either Lamine or Lamine Yamal. I'd like to know why that is. It's just, but yeah, that is the case.
Yeah. The Paris Saint-Germain player, and I guess he's a bit older now, that I've actually been impressed with more of the younger players is Barcoa, who looks to me like there's quite a high ceiling, and he converts a lot, doesn't he, in terms of chances and goals and stuff like that. But yeah.
What I know his first name isn't Bobby, is it? Because in my head,
I have no idea. I can't even remember.
I've seen quite a bit of him, and he's good bits and bad bits, but he's a winger. But just in my head, his name's Bobby because I guess, and it just occurred to me now, why do I call him Bobby Barcoa? And it's obviously because of Bobby Bacala,
right?
In Sopranos, and I've now realised why that is. So this thing wasn't a total waste of time. It's scratched a very minor itch deep in the smoke rings of my mind.
How many Golden Boy? No, this isn't the Golden Boy, is it? This is the Kopa Trophy. I get confused between the two. But how many winners of this trophy have gone on to be absolute stars over the
real
years?
talk? I couldn't even name one. I mean, I'm sure I will have heard of most of the players that have won it, but I won't. I don't know who's won it. Whereas, still pissed off that Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, good Christ Almighty, yeah.
But
I mean, a quick note for Alejandro, Garnacho, and Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, it was. I guess it was Garnacho's breakout season last year. I mean, obviously been involved with the team for quite a bit longer.
One before, I'd say, where you're like, bottom level, this guy's a really good sub.
Yeah. And then Kobbie Mainoo obviously exploded onto the scene, and we're just looking for the next level of development from him, aren't they? Because there's just an incredible amount of pressure on him to be good this season. Otherwise, Manchester United's midfield just doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It's exactly that. Because I mean, I've been thinking about this because I'm an idiot, obviously. Thinking about is the pressing with the 9 and the 10. Is that taking Bruno too far away from where we want him to be? I want him in a free role, maybe. Although I don't think this team can wear it. Maybe no team can wear it, by the way. But I want him. I feel like he's not getting on the ball enough. He's having to go out wide to find the ball. He's just. And is it because his starting position is too high? I don't know, something to not think about, I guess.
There was an interesting still shot from one of the many tactical breakdowns, and they all combine into one. Sorry, Darnish, but I can't pick one from the other at the moment. But showing Kobbie Mainoo at the weekend surrounded by 4 Liverpool players with Toby Collier about 40 yards away from him. And you'd say, well, that's a bit poor positioning from Toby Collier there. Except that happens all of the time. And like when it happens with multiple players, you start to think... Is that
because they're going man-to-man? Is that... But then if United are in possession, or were they man-to-man from when possession was won? I don't know.
Yeah, but potentially, I don't know the context around it. Yeah, but to come to your point, yes, there's a big gap between midfield and the forwards and midfield and the defenders, and it's United are very stretched out and there's large spaces. And come back to that old thing about Johan Cruyff saying, make the pitch very small when you're defending and very large when you're attacking, and United do the opposite. It feels.
I mean, I know what he means, and he obviously knew about association football. I do wonder though if, and I sort of agree that you want to generally, like a better team, we usually want to stretch the pitch, make it bigger, make the opponents run more, do more work. But at the same time, you need players always close together because that is how modern football is played, really, that you work the ball through the thirds in usually short passes. We tend not to do that, actually. Like everything is sort of done in a rush. And that isn't even because we have Bruno Fernandes trying to hit killer balls all the time because he's not even there to hit killer balls. So, yeah, but thinking and also just generally, he needs to be closer to Mainoo because people need to be closer to Mainoo.
Yeah.
Or else, at the moment, everyone's getting lost with it.
And Mainoo will be the link between Ugarte and Bruno eventually. All right, onto the main trophy, the Ballon d'Or this year. Who is the favourite? Is this Mbappe? Because I don't know, it's always Mbappe. Or I mean, I guess it'll be the first year for a long time that neither Cristiano, him or him are involved in this at all. Yeah, is this Lamine Yamal? He's nominated for the main one as well. Is this Rodri because he was the most important player in the Spain side that won the Euros this year.
I feel like this is one of two. It's either going to be I've now forgotten every name that I've ever known. It's now going to either be Vinicius or it's going to be Rodri.
Yeah,
I couldn't make a very convincing case for any of the rest of these. I mean, you could say, well, Mbappe's the best player in the world. He probably is, but he wasn't the best player in the world last season.
No.
Whereas Vinicius has won the league and made the Champions League happen in significant part.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and international trophies always seem to play an oversized role in these personal trophies, don't they? And obviously Brazil didn't win Copa America, so I don't know whether that'll play into it at all. Whereas Spain did win the Euros, and obviously Rodri was their main man. But yeah, when's the last time United had a player involved in this? Then I mean, this has got to be.
I mean, the thing is,
2009 or something, right?
No.
Can we have a nomination after then?
Was Ronaldo nominated in his year most recently at United? I wouldn't be at all surprised. Bruno must have been nominated. If Cole Palmer and Vitinha's been nominated, surely Bruno's been nominated.
Yeah, surely. I mean, this is the very long list. This is the top 30 or something insane, isn't it? When's the last time United had top 3? That's going to be Beckham. Oh, no. Ronaldo, 2008-9, won it. And then.
But you know, what is mad is that there was a period in time, quite a long period in time, where United had 3 winners of this trophy all in the same team.
Yeah.
Vesco and Charlton. But that's a ridiculous state of affairs.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They didn't even win that much, really.
1 league, 1 European Cup. Two leagues. Yeah.
And Bobby obviously had 2 with the Babes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's interesting, was it? Because maybe it just feels like people kind of cared less about winning at that point, almost. That there wasn't as much pressure to win. If you had Bessler and Charlton now, and Matt Busby was the manager, and you also had Paddy Crowell and Nobby Stiles, like players of that caliber, like players good enough, like Nobby Stiles, good enough to play in the World Cup winning team, feels like that would not be considered. It would be expected that you'd win more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, United came close as well. Like they came second in 66.
67, yeah.
67 now, second in 66, second in 68. And they were also quite close. They did well in the cups as well, against cup semis as well in those days, and semis of the Fairs Cup, and close in Europe to retaining it in 69 as well. So it's not like that. It's not like they were languishing, but it does feel a little bit like there's greater expectation for the best team around to build a dynasty.
Yeah. And of course, there's an asterisk on the team that is building a dynasty. And let's not talk about them. They'll get their comeuppance at some point. The Real Madrid, of course, who just keep winning European Cups, which is remarkable, really.
It's just ridiculous. And even now, they probably win the league because there's no other good team in Spain. But the Champions League is, again, like, obviously the team that won it all those years in a row, the Casemiro's team, you can't say they're not a great team. And yet, sort of weren't a great team, didn't win that many leagues. They just were able to find a way of winning. And I always wonder how much of it is just their inherent Real Madridness.
Yeah.
That they're expected to win, so they expect it of themselves. They're confident, and other teams expect them to do it as well. Because surely, like they were not winning league titles against a not vintage Barca team and Atletico. 1-1 as well.
1-1, yeah.
And yet there's just something about the European Cup where it just happens to them. Like that one they skanked against Liverpool. Like 2, they've beat Liverpool twice. They've beat Liverpool in 2 Champions League finals, and Liverpool also have that confidence thing going. I can't remember what the record is exactly, but Liverpool's record in penalty shootouts is absurd. It's like something like 20-3 or something. I'm sort of putting those numbers out my arse and sort of not. And it feels like they just expect there's something about it that they expect to win, then you get these things that become self-fulfilling prophecies, like the Anfield thing. Like, is the atmosphere at Anfield is massively overblown, and I've been to Anfield a lot of times.
Yeah, they're quiet.
Experienced very few good ones.
Yeah.
But there is something about when something happens, it keeps happening. It was the same with United and the late goals. Team, like, everyone knew they were coming, and no one could do anything about them.
Yeah.
So if you think about the late goals, when we got famous for them in like the early to mid 90s, then what was actually going on at the end? There were so many more. Just over the course of time, it's just this is what's
expectations.
This is what's going to happen, and so it sort of does.
This was true of Cristiano and Messi over the years, getting nominated for this here trophy. for no real reason at some points. But
obviously, we're not going to litigate this here. But just so, do you think that there is if someone said to you which of those two is better, do you have to think about that?
No, not in the slightest. Yeah, it's obviously Messi.
So I'm just, I mean, it's like even like there was a time when the last time you could seriously debate this was in 2008. I would say you could make the case for Ronaldo, I guess, by saying different countries and international competition. Now Messi has one, and it's not even one he won in this dotage. Like the defending against him was crap, and it seemed like people would let him do it, but he properly contributed to the fact to the extent they probably would have done it without him. There's not. I mean, Ronaldo would have been a more interesting player had he not gone to Madrid, maybe. Just when he becomes this remorseless accumulator, he loses a lot of the fantasy, and people forget that he ever had it. But early years at United, he was amazing to watch.
Well, he became a different player as well. He became and it's remarkable, really, because most players are not able to reinvent themselves to such an extent. He went from flying winger with a load of tricks to the best goal scorer on the
wide attacker, and they're sort of not quite reinventing that position, but he did change what people thought wide players could do. I think,
very much
in terms of goal returns.
Yeah,
and then centre forward. Whereas Messi has started on the right and then moved into the middle and then moved back to the right. I guess. But I mean, Messi was. It's not. It's not close between them. I do think it could have been closer if Ronaldo had been in a slightly different environment. Maybe.
Ronaldo does have more Ballon D'Ors, though, I think. I may even be giving this the wrong name.
Is that because he won more Champions Leagues?
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a correlation.
It's rather like it's like all the boxing titles, WBA, WBC, IBF, whatever. You're like, who the fuck is the champion? Golden Ball, Ballon d'Or, FIFA the best trophy, European Player of the Year. Just combine them all into one.
Well, I feel like the Ballon d'Or is the one that counts, really. Now that they've opened it to everyone, because it was always open to everyone, wasn't
it? Yes, but playing in Europe, right?
Yeah. So, now it doesn't. Yeah, now I guess you have to be playing in Europe to win it anyhow.
Yeah.
But Hakan Calhanoglu. I mean, is it just because the coach of Tuvalu or whatever? That's why we get? I mean, no offense to the coach of Tuvalu.
It's the coach who's
much more about football than me. But you know what the captain of Tuvalu is?
I do not.
Funafuti.
I did have an opportunity to go there once. I turned it down. I was very disappointed, but
why did you do that?
I said, why did I do family stuff? It was a 36-hour flight with various connections to actually get there.
What was the point of it? How were you in that situation?
It was, I was invited to keynote a conference there on the Pacific Islands Telecoms Association. I shit you not. It was, anyway, I couldn't do it. On that note, Kobbie, Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, not going to win the Kopa Trophy, but well done on getting nominated. And let's hope that 115 FC's Rodri does not win the main trophy, because that'd just be wrong too.
It's sure. I'm almost sure it'll be Vinicius, but
yeah, fair enough. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, everyone. Catch you next time.
Please.